Alright you loyalists, heretics and Xeno scum, let's talk about chaos. So I already explained chaos briefly in another video of mine which you should totally watch, but in this video we'll be going into a bit more detail, starting off with the warp.
What's going on out here?
The warp is another dimension linked to our own, made mainly out of psychic energy. Now the warp wasn't always the hellscape we know it as back before the war in heaven it was pretty chill. But then the Necrons had to start a war, which turned the warp into the chaotic mess that we all know, and the entities that would become the fearsome foursome known as the Chaos Gods began to form. But they took some time to fully manifest, and are widely believed to have fully emerged during the Middle Ages of Earth. Well, except for Slaanesh, who was just the result of the galaxy's biggest rager. Now with that done, let's go into a bit more detail about each god, starting with...
always have blood, use all that!
Khorne, the god of blood, war, and skulls, not to be mistaken with Cain, the elder god of blood and war. Khorne is a pretty simple god. Khorne does not care for where the blood flows, just so long as it flows. Khorne is a charge in first and ask questions later kind of god, and that bleeds into his demons and followers, who primarily fight in melee combat because they are just there for direct and upfront combat with chainsaws and axes like real men. This simple barbarism even comes across in his demons' aesthetics, which look very much like generic satanic demons. Now the Chaos Gods each have a good side to them, and I say that with massive air quotes, and in the case of Khorne, it's honor, which was summed up perfectly by TTS.
Khorne would never try to trick you and stab you in the back.
He will just stab you in the face, over and over again, until your face stops resembling a face.
And now we should probably move on to our next god.
It's all part of the plan.
Tzeentch, the god of change, magic, and in short, nerds.
Hey!
If Khorne is more upfront than a car's bumper, Tzeentch is the absolute opposite. Tzeentch is a schemer of schemers, and is basically the most eldritch of the four Chaos Gods. Now, Tzeentch's demons and followers are long-range and magic focused because again, god of nerds.
What the
And Tzeentch's mortal followers could be some of the most heavily mutated people you've ever seen, or they could basically just be a normal looking guy, because he just feels like it. Now Tzeentch's quote-unquote good aspect is the nature of change itself. It's neither inherently good or evil. Anyway, we should probably move on to our next Chaos God before we start to stagnate. Nurgle, the god of plagues, rot, decay, and stagnation. He's basically the god of FIFA. Nurgle in his own weird, twisted way is the kindest of the four Chaos Gods. But Nurgle cares for all life even in its most rotting and disgusting form, which is usually represented by him spreading around hellish plagues, which give his followers and demons hellish resistance because Jesus Christ is being filthy really powerful in 40k. And of course, as I previously stated, Nurgle's good aspect is the fact that he loves life. And now we can move on to the last of the major Chaos Gods. Slaanesh, the god of love, excess, and emotions. So Slaanesh is a bit weird with excess meant to represent overindulgence and overstimulation, but it's usually just boiled down to sex. And unlike the other Chaos Gods, Slaanesh manifested after a million-year-long rager. Slaanesh's followers and demons are quite agile and have heightened senses because Slaanesh is, again, god of excess, which means you feel everything way more. Slaanesh's good aspect is emotions. Happiness, sad, sorrow, they're all emotions and they can be either good or bad. Now that sums up all the Chaos Gods, but before we talk about the Chaos Marines, there's two demons we need to cover.
Rip and tear until it is done.
Be'lakor, aka the OG Demon Prince, the first mortal to gain the favour of the four Chaos Gods, which allowed him to ascend to demonhood. However, he got a bit too ambitious playing the gods off one another, which got him put into the timeout corner for a bit. And now he seeks to break away from the four Chaos Gods so he can become a god of his own, the god of shadows. God, that sounds edgy. But he's not the only demon looking to become a Chaos God.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
Bashdor the Archifane is a demon who is not in service to any of the four Chaos Gods, and instead serves as the arms dealer to the four Chaos Gods, giving them access to demon engines made from the Forged Souls, and is currently working alongside Abaddon the Despoiler to become the next Chaos God. And now we can finally talk about the Chaos Marines.
Doom!
The Chaos Marines, also known as the Traitor Legions, were once part of the Imperium of Man during the Great Crusade, but due to the Chaos God, they ultimately ended up betraying the Imperium. Led by the Primarch Horus Lupercal, they attacked the Imperium but ultimately failed, leading to his death and the event being known as the Horus Heresy. Now to keep things simple, we're going to go over each Traitor Legion briefly, in numerical order.
Fabulous!
The Emperor's Children were the third Space Marine Legion and were led by the Primarch Fulgrim, before he went off the deep end and went to goon in the warp. Before falling to chaos, the Emperor's Children were a legion who strove for perfection, but after being corrupted by Slaanesh, they just chased new highs.
Long time, no siege.
The Iron Warriors were the fourth legion and were led by Perturabo. They are masters of siege warfare similar to their cousins, the Imperial Fists, and are well known for their brutality, and in the modern day they're busy shoving demons into shit.
My genocide crusade begins
here.
The Night Lords were the 8th Legion and were led by Conrad Kurz, also known as Space Batman. The Night Lords were not one for direct combat and preferred to use scare tactics to take over their enemies, and they probably saw the Geneva Convention as just a light suggestion. And in the modern day, they're not really very well organized due to the fact that their Primarch died.
Blood for the Blood God! Blood for the Blood God!
The 12th Legion were the World Eaters, who are still kinda led by their Primarch. That Primarch being Angrod, who is a bit intense.
For the glory of Khorne!
The World Eaters are worshippers of Khorne and are always kind of angry due to the fact that they have something called the Butcher's Nails in their head. The Death Guard of the 14th Legion are led by everybody's favourite Mothman, Morty. The Death Guard are mastered the slow attrition warfare and became even better at it after they got the gifts from Nurgle. Too bad they didn't get any deodorant. The 15th Legion were the Thousand Sons, who were led by Magnus the Red, who did nothing wrong. Literally nothing wrong.
No, you lie! You lie!
Now, the Thousand Sons are majoritively made up of Psychers, with the members who aren't Psychers basically just being walking dustbins. Thanks, Ahriman. They also don't like wolves.
You leave it!
Weak and pathetic.
The 16th Legion were the Lunar Wolves, also known as the Sons of Horus, and later the Black Legion. And of course they were led by the Primarch Horus Lupercal until he died, when they were taken over and reformed into the Black Legion and led by Abaddon the Despoiler. The 17th Legion were the Wordbearers, who were led by your local Chaos Priest, Lorgar. The Wordbearers were originally meant to spread the Imperial truth, aka atheism. But Lorgar decided to tell everyone his daddy was a god. And the God Emperor did not like that, so he told Lorgar off, which led Lorgar into finding the Chaos Gods. So, thanks, Biggie. And now the Wordbearers just sit around in a big circle summoning demons. The Alpha Legion is the 20th Legion, and they are led by the Primarch Alfarius and his secret twin brother, Omegan. And Omegan's existence was only known by a very small number of people in the Imperium. The Alpha Legion were also mastered of espionage, and during the Horus Heresy and Great Crusade, it was often common to see them disguise themselves as Alfarius. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm pretty sure that an Inquisitor asked me right now. And if you like this video, like and subscribe and hit that bell. And don't forget to check the description for any creators who helped me make this video. Anyway, see ya!